So to start off the look, I'm going to put a little bit of concealer on my eyes, just as I normally would to prime them, but I am going to focus this mainly kind of on my crease and on my brow bone, because I will be carving out the eyeshadow with my concealer. And then I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender sponge and just blend that all in, just to help set that in place and just help my eyeshadows just go on a bit better. I'm going to use some of the Rimmel Match Perfection powder. So I've never properly attempted a cut crease on myself. I have watched videos on how other people do this, but I feel like I'm just going to kind of just go with it and just see what works for me best, because I do think it is quite a hard look to achieve. So just to start off with, I'm going to take Makeup Geek's Peach Smoothie, which is this colour here. Always use this as like my kind of initial transition colour. I've never found anything else that works as well as this, and I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So I'm just going to pop this in my crease. But I'm going to be a little bit more precise than what I normally am, and rather than going kind of round, I'm going to kind of stop here and take it out a little bit, because I want that kind of where it goes up and then kind of goes the same way as where your wing liner's going. And something else that I'm going to do is I'm going to pack quite a lot onto my brushes, because I do want this to be pretty pigmented. I'm going to take this right into the inner corner of my eye as well. And I think that this is just going to help me see where I want all my shadows to go, and obviously help them blend on a little better. I'm sorry about the chair, by the way. I am going to be changing up my background very soon. I'm just sorting out my room at the moment. And then we're getting some like shelves that are going to go at the back, and that's going to kind of act as my background. So once I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same on my other eye. I do think it's a lot easier to keep your eyes open whilst you're doing this. And then I'm just going to take another fluffy brush. This is slightly tapered at the top. I'm going to go in with Creme Brulee, which is also by Makeup Geek, just to help define that a little bit more. I've seen people use like tape and like spoons and stuff like that to do this, but I do think that I would prefer to do it this way, just because I feel like I can get the exact shape I want. Whereas if you go in with like tape or a spoon, it's kind of, you have to just follow that shape that it's giving you. And I also think that this look is really nice for if you've got hooded eyes, because then, you know, you can kind of give your eyes a little bit more of a rounded effect, which always looks nice. So I'm just popping this just a little bit further down, but I'm keeping my eye open. I'm going to put it, I want it to go right where my crease is. So I've got barely any shadow on my lid, and when I kind of carve out and put my like all over lid colour on, you should be able to see that definite kind of cut crease effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same on this side again. So I'm basically just going kind of darker and darker with my colours until I've got the kind of effect that I want, and then when I go ahead and clean it up, hopefully you'll be able to see the nice kind of gradient from my crease up to my brow bone. I'm going to go in with Texture from MAC, which is this colour here, and my MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to put the pigment right on the end of the brush, and I'm very gently, I want to actually start carving out where I want the shadows to go. So I'm just going to keep my eye open. I want it to be just above where my kind of crease is, because I want you to be able to see the line. I'm just going to start building up that colour, making sure I go right to the inner corner of my eye. Now I'm just going to take it and just sweep it out just a little bit here. So not too much, but you can see the difference it's made already. You've just kind of got a little bit more definition. At the moment, I'm not too bothered about it being neat, because I'm going to go in with my initial brush and just kind of soften them all up a little bit, just so they blend a lot nicer. Now this is the part where I really want to start defining my crease. I've got two brushes here. I've got an angled brush, and I've got my Sigma Small Taper Blending E45 brush, and this is very tapered. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the angled brush. I'm going to take some of Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear, which is this colour here, and I'm just going to pack on some on the brush. I'm just going to look straight ahead in the mirror, and I'm going to start to draw from the middle where I want my line to be. it's going to be just above where my crease naturally is. I'm going to take it right to the inner corner, but again it's just going to be slightly above where my natural kind of inner corner goes, like that. And then I'm going to, so where my liner would come at this kind of angle, so I'm just going to take my brush up and kind of match that angle, because when I do my liner I want it to blend, and then you can just kind of connect it with what you've done, like that. So then when you look in the mirror and you've got your eye open, it's a lot straight. Before I start to blend that out, I just want to repeat the same on the other side, just so it's a lot easier. But I think I want to bring this up just a tiny bit. So obviously, as long as the top of my line is okay, I can, when I go in my concealer, I can just tidy up the underneath. So I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. So I've got my rough shape in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in my Sigma E45 brush. I'm going to pick up some of the Cocoa Bear again on the brush, and I'm just going to start to softly blend that line in with the brush. And you could also, if you wanted to, you could probably pick up some of like the texture colour as well and just soften that line up. And then just do the same thing on the other eye. You just want to kind of get, it's mainly the top part of the line you don't want to be super harsh, because you want that to be like a nice gradient, but when it comes to the bottom part of the line, that will be harsh, but we can neaten that up with concealer. So I'm just going to keep blending until it's pretty soft, like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my MAC 217, I'm not going to put any additional product on it, this has texture on. I'm just going to start to blend the line in just at the top. I just want to start blending at the top, but you can see the difference that's made already. It's softened it up so much. I'm just going to keep going across the whole line. If you just use little circular motions, you'll find that it blends so much better. This is why I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows, just because they blend so well. And if you didn't want that flick up as much, you can kind of soften it so it sticks out, and when we do the liner and everything it will look better. So I'm just going to keep blending that in until I am happy. I feel like the thing that you have to remember when it comes to eyeshadow looks is that until the whole look is done, I would be very wary of kind of just throwing it off, because once the look's complete, you've got your eyelashes on and you've got the rest of your face on, it can look completely different. So I'm going to blend, I feel like this bit's a little bit too harsh. I'm just going to blend that out a little bit, just to kind of soften it up a bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my concealer. I'm going to take just a flat eyeshadow brush. This is just a double-ended brush that I got in one of the Urban Decay Naked palettes. So I've just put a little bit of the concealer on the brush, not a lot. And this is where I'm going to start carving it out. So I'm going to get right up to the mirror and I'm just going to start off, I'm going to start off in the centre and just start to draw where I want. That to start. So I've just switched to this smaller brush. And all you basically want to do is just to start covering up the eyeshadow that's gone. You could also use like a paint pot. If you just kind of hold your eye taut a little bit, you can start to see. Right, so you can see the difference already. It just looks so much neater, but it's not ridiculously harsh, and it just makes my eyes look that little bit bigger as well. So I've just done the inner corner for the moment, so I'm going to repeat the same on this side. So again, I'm just going to start in the centre. I know where I want it to go, and then if you just pull your eye. So again, you can see it just kind of rounds out your eyes just a little bit. And then I'm going to go out on the outer corner and just kind of connect it with the centre. and then get rid of any eyeshadow that's gone a little bit further down than what I wanted. I definitely recommend doing this eyeshadow look without doing your foundation first, just because I feel like it's a lot easier to control. You just need to do it on the line. And there you go, then you've got a nice cut crease which is softly blended. And I'm just going to use this concealer as another primer for my eyeshadow, which I'm going to put on in a minute. So now I'm just going to again match up the outer corner on this eye. You can put colour on your lid, or you can put like just a neutral light colour. I want to put a light colour on my lid, but I want it to be very light and very pigmented. So I'm going to go in with this colour here from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, just because this is so pigmented and I think it will just kind of go with the rest of the eyeshadow look very well. This again is another time when you could really kind of define the crease. I'm just going to take a flat eyeshadow brush. I really want to kind of pack on the colour onto the brush. And I'm just going to start by putting it in the centre of my lid. You can see how pigmented it is. And then just with my eye open, I'm just going to kind of tap it right up to that line. And then bring it right into the inner corner, and you can really kind of sharpen it up in the inner corner as well. It's weird doing this because the next thing that I would always think to do is to blend it out. But it kind of just goes over my crease just a little bit. Then when I open my eye, it just makes my eye look a little bit bigger. I'm going to pop the eyeshadow again on this eye. Now that I've done that, I want to add a little bit of glitter on the crease as well, just to give it a little bit of something. It kind of helps to soften it, but it also helps to keep it looking like a cut crease. So again, I'm going to go in with just a small angled brush. I'm going to wet it with a little bit of Fix Plus, because I don't actually have a glitter liner, but you can use like an eyeshadow or something like that. So I'm going to go in with this colour here, again from the Anastasia palette, because when you wet this, I just think it looks so nice and shimmery. So I'm just going to really pack it on the brush, and then I'm just going to take it right on that line. You could also do like a white line or something like that. I think that would look quite nice and probably help this stand out. I like the fact that the glitter's kind of falling down on the eye a little bit, but it is mainly focused on my crease. So that is that one. It just softens it up a little bit, and also you can kind of, if you feel like it's not that neat, it just kind of neatens it up a little bit. Then I'm just going to repeat the same on my other eye. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera. All I'm going to do is add some winged liner, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you everything that I've put on. So I will be right back. So this is the finished look, and now that everything's all done and it's all put together, I absolutely love it. It's something a little bit different. It's probably come out a little bit more heavy than what I initially kind of was going for. It's just nice to do something a bit different with your eyes. And like I said, now that, you know, everything else is finished, so I've done my eyebrows and I've done eyeliner and eyelashes and things like that, it just kind of brings the whole look together. Whereas before, I might have looked at it and gone, oh, I really don't like that. And I don't tend to wipe off eyeshadow until I've done the rest of my makeup. And just in case you're wondering, I just did a heavy black liner, put on a pair of my favourite lashes, the Isla 117s. These are just my favourite lashes to wear. I put Kat Von D's Bow and Arrow on my lips, and I just did a little bit of powder and a little bit of blusher, and that's it. And I've got my Urban Decay highlighter one. I wanted to keep the face quite minimal, so that's why I haven't gone for like a really heavy kind of contoured look, but yeah, I do really like it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really want to start doing more looks that I wouldn't tend to wear, but you know, just to kind of have a little bit of fun. So if there's any requests or anything you have in mind, then please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.